The missile threat is what really scares both the military and civilians, and for good reason. There's hardly anything that can be opposed to huge projectiles flying at a speed of over 1,800 miles per hour with more than 60 explosive elements inside. Just one such impact can wipe out an area of 0.4 square miles. It would seem that there's no protection against this, but laser defense systems are ready to protect us from air threats. These high-tech machines of the future are capable of destroying all the missiles fired by the enemy with a 300-kilowatt laser in a matter of seconds. They're the future of air defense. But wait, this future is already here. People have learned how to make lasers even from gas, and the power of such guns allows them to shoot down a dozen targets at a distance of 6 miles at once. If the laser used to be just a toy, now the deadly beam is capable of heating the target up to 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit, turning the metal surface into plasma. The leading countries have already created dozens of types of laser weapons, and every day they continue to improve and modernize them. Is this weapon a worthy response to the aggression of the enemy? Can a laser destroy advanced missiles and drones?
Drones can be very precise, very accurate. They can hit the target if you have the right information about that target.
Laser weapons are an incredibly important technology that changes the rules of warfare. Laser systems are capable of destroying targets at a great distance, doing it instantly. Moreover, many systems can destroy numerous targets at once, so you can't beat them in quantity. You must admit that this greatly affects the tactics of war. Previously, it was enough for the enemy to launch as many drones and missiles as possible at one point so that the old air defense system just didn't have time to destroy everything at once. But in truth, not all types of laser weapons are equally effective against the same targets. Let's analyze all the currently known lasers, and you'll find out what they're capable of. It's important to understand that each type of laser has its own unique characteristics and applications that make them indispensable in certain fields of science, technology, and medicine. The laser you use to play with your cat also uses a specific technology. For example, did you know that your grandmother's ruby can be turned into a weapon? Ruby crystals are used for solid-state lasers, and the power of such a thing is enough to blind an enemy and turn off electronics. But there are other options, such as semiconductor lasers. I bet you have one at home. If I win the argument, you'll subscribe to me and like me, okay? So pick up the TV remote control. Do you see a red light at the bottom? Congratulations, you've found a semiconductor laser. And if you don't have a remote control, the tiny hole on the top of your phone is also a laser. And finally, gas lasers. Hold on, what? Is gas used to make a powerful beam that burns through steel? Yes, technically this is true. I'm not going to explain the technology because it's boring, but remember, this type of laser is used in the most powerful weapons.
Which we can just fire using a laser weapon and have on our platforms is potentially going to be much cheaper.
Nevertheless, laser weapons, despite their advantages, have several significant disadvantages that limit their use. Lasers require enormous energy consumption to generate a powerful beam. Currently, there are no compact and efficient energy sources capable of providing long-term operation of laser weapons. The United States has made an attempt to fix this by creating a miniature system that can be recharged, but its power leaves much to be desired. The high power of lasers also generates a significant amount of heat. Cooling of such systems requires complex and massive cooling systems, which makes the weapon bulky and difficult to operate. But this is being actively worked on. Moreover, the energy of the laser beam decreases with distance due to scattering and absorption in the atmosphere. Dust, smoke, rain, and other atmospheric conditions can significantly reduce the effectiveness of laser weapons. You can see for yourself that the record range of a laser does not exceed 6 miles, which is a pity.
The range is limited. It's more limited than the range of interceptor weapons.
It's also important that laser weapons need to hold the beam on one point for some time to hit the target. This can be challenging when shooting at fast-moving targets or in real-world combat where the target can maneuver quickly. The laser beam can even be deflected or scattered by mirror or reflective surfaces, which can be used by the enemy. No one's stopping you from making a missile covered with a mirror surface. Let's not forget that laser systems are very difficult to manufacture and maintain. They require high-precision components and sophisticated optical systems, which makes the cost of their production enormous. And perhaps the last and most important problem that no one talks about is that laser systems can create electromagnetic interference that affects the operation of other electronic systems, which can be critical in combat conditions.
The disadvantage. One is a short range, the other is the sensitivity to weather, and the third is the low kill rate.
Although lasers are an incredibly cool solution, they're still far from perfect. However, all the leading countries are working on improving them, so laser weapons are indeed the future. And perhaps this future is much closer than we think. Just look at the latest developments. For example, the American defense giant Lockheed Martin has completed the development of its 300 kilowatt air-to-ground missile system. Such a powerful laser will be able to protect important objects from artillery, mines, or drones, and one shot costs only $40. But Britain went even further and created the most versatile and impressive laser gun in history. You've probably already heard about the Dragonfire. At least in my videos, I've talked about it, but before that, it was just a small prototype that's finally been built.
The Dragonfire's laser-directed energy weapon demonstrator.
The Dragonfire is capable of shooting down enemy drones and missiles worth millions of dollars, and the price of its shot is estimated at $1. With this system, you can even conduct a war of attrition, because the money the enemy spends on missile production will sooner or later run out. According to British Defense Secretary Grant Shapps, delays in the introduction of new weapons technologies are the biggest waste of defense money. What I want to do is speed up the development process, which usually takes about 10 years. And I want to finish our laser faster and deploy it on ships and on land, he said, talking about the speed of the Dragonfire development. The weapon operates by focusing 37 channels of 1.5 kilowatt laser beams arranged in a hexagonal array, combining them with mirrors to consolidate and amplify power. The output's the same 300 kilowatts as that of the American counterpart, but the cost of use is lower and the effective range is higher, up to 6 miles. The weapon's invisible and silent, as the wavelength of light is invisible to the human eye and is close to the infrared spectrum of light. During the test, the weapon was able to destroy drones and detonate mortars in less than 5 seconds. The Dragonfire instantly turns the metal surface into a 5,000 degree Fahrenheit plasma and can burn through a shell or aircraft fuselage in seconds.
At the leading edge, not just of technology, but in demonstrating the end-to-end capability and inform the UK's future procurement.
Although the system was designed to destroy drones, you must admit that the system is powerful enough to neutralize fast-moving projectiles such as ballistic missiles or even try to destroy a fighter jet. The Dragonfire was first tested at the Hebrides range in early 2024, where it was found that the laser could hit a coin from a distance of 0.6 miles. This briefly indicates its incredible accuracy. Will any drone or missile be able to circumvent such power? I doubt it very much. Laser weapons really reach the point where they can be successfully used in warfare? You may not realize the full significance of such protection because drones do not seem to be a powerful weapon. You can knock them over with a stone. However, it's bad form to underestimate the enemy. Just take a look at the most annoying drone of our time, the Shahed. These unmanned aerial vehicles pose a serious threat to civilians in Ukraine because despite their cheapness, they're able to bypass modern air defense systems. The mission of a kamikaze drone is to fly to a target and explode. They're used exclusively for this purpose, which makes the Shahed 136 simple and cheap.
Drones can be very precise, very accurate. They can hit the target if you have the right information about that target.
The drone is made of cheap components. There's a 4-cylinder carburetor engine inside, which makes the Shahed 136 very noisy and not fast enough in flight, only 110 miles per hour. And it's its speed that's a problem, because modern air defense systems pick up targets that move quickly. And in this case, we have a maximum of 110 miles per hour. Moreover, the cost of a kamikaze drone is low compared to other types of weapons. For example, the average cruise missile of the latest generation is priced at $5 million per unit, while the price of a kamikaze drone barely reaches $50,000. So what should the United States use to shoot down such weapons? Should it be guns? Of course, no. One of the options that the U.S. often installs on its ships is the Phalanx Sea-Wiz system, and for the most part, it's proven itself to be excellent. This machine is installed on board of the Arleigh-Burke destroyers, including the USS Ross, about which we'll talk more today. The Phalanx Sea-Whiz is an incredibly high-speed machine gun capable of firing over 4,200 rounds per minute. It literally turns fighters into a sieve, and it does it very accurately.
Precision is the highest requirement that we have to meet when we make something like that.
It would seem that this is the solution to the problem of annoying drones. But there's one caveat. Even the Shahed 136 can fly at an altitude of 3 miles, while the Phalanx has a range of only 2 miles. This means that in certain cases, anti-aircraft guns are not suitable against such targets. But what to do then? What great invention should help the United States get rid of enemy weapons? Lasers. It's laser weapons that can solve all problems. Back on May 16th last year, the U.S. Pacific Fleet Command announced the successful completion of the Laser Weapons System Demonstrator Laser System test, which was deployed aboard the USS Portland Amphibious Assault Ship. It successfully destroyed the flying target. These are not the first tests of laser weapons in the U.S. Navy, but the first to be conducted against a drone at sea. This is a landmark event, but it was not without its mistakes, because lasers require a lot of energy, which is usually produced by huge ground-based systems. It's impossible to install such a system at sea, and it would seem that the U.S. plan has failed. However, the solution comes naturally when you look at the USS Gerald R. Ford. Its power and grandeur are emphasized by the presence of 2 nuclear reactors capable of not only moving a multi-ton ship, but also powering all its needs, including the LWSD laser system currently installed on deck.
And the foundation that we're building here today at Gerald R. Ford will last for the next 50 plus years. It will last throughout our lives. If we get this right, Gerald R. Ford will go on to be not just the most technologically advanced warship in the Navy, but the greatest warship in the Navy.
So will the largest ship be able to cope with annoying enemy drones? Let's look at all the benefits of a drone. These include a flight altitude that avoids anti-aircraft guns, invisibility to radar, and low cost. We'll also mention its disadvantages, namely noisy flight, inability to automatically influence the flight course, and the quality of the materials it's made of. With all these aspects in mind, wouldn't the best option be to use laser weapons on the USS Gerald R. Ford? The sensors and radars of the aircraft carrier are too strong to take into account, but the LWSD system itself has radars tuned to a high range of targets. Its radar can detect the movement of both supersonic missiles and slow drones. Even if the radar fails, the noise made by the engine of the drone will give away its position, and as we know, it flies a linear trajectory, which makes it clear where it'll go next. Thus, the first problem is solved. The next one is altitude. The maximum flight altitude of the Shahed is 3 miles. There are also combat drones that can take off at 4 miles, but they all lose to a laser system with a range of 6 miles. Therefore, the drone has no chance to withstand the deadly laser beam. Even if 100 drones fly to one ship, they'll all burn in seconds because the materials they're made of are instantly combustible. The only question left is the price. One shot from such a nano cannon costs only $2, while it can destroy a $50,000 drone. And the laser doesn't need ammunition.
I think there are 2 advantages. One, the cost per kill, the recurring is low, and the second is that there is no ammunition.
Please don't let the capabilities of the new system cloud your judgment, because any technology, even the most advanced, has its drawbacks. First, to defend against close-range threats such as mortar shells, laser weapons need to hit the target before it can do any damage. Everything is clear with the Shahed 136. It's made of 2 cheap materials. But what to do if the enemy starts covering the shells with a reflective material? In this case, the laser will not have time to heat the target enough to detonate in the air. The same goes for distance. Burning solid materials over long distances requires considerable power, which an aircraft carrier has, but which smaller ships do not. At the same time, lasers generate a huge amount of heat that must be effectively removed. And the last disadvantage is the weather conditions. This is currently the main problem with laser weapons. Fog, rain, smoke, etc. prevent the laser from fully affecting the hull of the target, and thus the effectiveness of the laser decreases.
The disadvantage. One is a short range, the other is the sensitivity to weather, and the third is the low kill rate.
But American engineers are smart people, and they found a way to take only the best from lasers, avoiding all the disadvantages. The military engineers proposed to combine the efforts of laser weapons and standard air defense systems as it was done on the USS Ross. It was created for the main purpose of prompt and effective counteraction to any threats. It's equipped with at least 2 air defense launchers capable of shooting down enemy fighters and missiles. At the same time, a smaller version of the LWSD laser system with a maximum power of 100 kilowatts was prepared for it. This cannon is weaker than a laser from the Ford, but it does an excellent job of destroying inexpensive drones, and if the targets are more agile or out of range of the laser, then the USS Ross will fire missiles.
USS Ross successfully intercepted a ballistic missile.
Also, the United States can replace one missile with an anti-aircraft missile system, let's say the Phalanx. In this case, the USS Ross will have anti-aircraft missiles and laser air defense systems on board at the same time, meeting absolutely all the needs of the U.S. Army. The United States is choosing the right direction in the development of its weapons. The country not only created amazing laser systems capable of fighting drones, but also invented drones capable of fighting enemy lasers. Not long ago, the U.S. Marine Corps conducted the first test flight of the XQ-58A jet drone. Relevant information appeared on the website of the U.S. Marine Corps.
Some of the avionics are custom and designed by us and by some of our suppliers specifically for the Valkyrie.
The flight was conducted at Eglin Air Force Base in Florida. The most important military structures of the Pentagon participated in the creation of this drone. The drone should perform the function of reconnaissance and disabling laser systems. How exactly it'll do this is still unclear. All we know is that the drone is covered with reflective elements capable of scattering the laser beam spectrum, which means that it will not be possible to shoot it down in this way. It's also known that they will test the capacity of the drone using artificial intelligence to enhance air combat patrols. The United States is trying to introduce artificial intelligence into laser systems to teach them how to control beam power, aim faster, and find the most vulnerable spots on the body of a target. All this shows only one thing. The United States is truly committed to its cause and considers it its duty to protect its country from any, even the most advanced threats. This video's come to an end. Thank you for watching. We'd be really happy if you'd put your precious like as you motivate us to release content more often. You can also share your opinion about what you saw in the comments. We really read them and try to take your words into account. Have a great day and see you soon.